don't know what the industry average is, but 3%, while it's better than 0, while it's better than a 3% cut, is not all that much. And if that's well beyond the industry average, maybe it's time to look at a new industry, I'll put it that way. Starbucks is doing something unheard of these days. They're giving raises, but they are committing to not raising prices. You know, a couple weeks ago, we covered the story about how McDonald's and Chipotle were being forced by Governor Newsom in California to raise their wages for their employees. And we got some good feedback on that. Some people said, hey, this is awesome. Some people said, that's not even enough. That's not even enough to get started. Well, Starbucks is saying that we're going to raise our wages, but not raise our prices. Where that's exactly what McDonald's and Chipotle said. We're going to raise our wages, and you better believe we're going to be raising our prices alongside of it. So Starbucks is going to be raising their wages by at least 3% starting on January 1st. Now, 3% is not a whole lot, right? On every $100 you earn, now you'll earn $103. You might make enough for the extra slice of cheese. We discussed that on yesterday's video. You might make enough for the extra slice of cheese with this 3% raise here. So let's see, Starbucks announced on Monday that it's raising wages for its workers at least 3% starting next year as part of an expanded benefits package. And the company is hailing it as well beyond industry average. I don't know what the industry average is, but 3%, while it's better than 0, while it's better than a 3% cut, is not all that much. And if that's well beyond the industry average, maybe it's time to look at a new industry, I'll put it that way. So hey, if you're just tuning in, my name is Christopher Yule, and we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data says about it. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And start trading with AI today. Go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now let's continue on here. Starbucks added that the eligible employees with wait. It says all eligible retail hourly partners will see an incremental pay increase come to life with at least 3%, right? And if they've been there for 2 to 5 years, they'll see an increase of at least 4%. While those who have been there for 5 or more years will get a 5% raise. So they're actually taking seniority into account here. They're actually taking the fact that these people have committed to smelling like coffee all day, every day for at least 5 years. And they're going to reward them for that. So a 5% raise is awesome. I wish that that was the floor. But the biggest news here, in my opinion, this is the biggest news of the day. There will be no new menu price increases to offset the wage increases. I think this is the best possible news for inflation that we have heard in a long, long time. The government lies to your face about what inflation costs because we all know that groceries didn't just go up 3, 4, 5%. Groceries basically doubled or tripled in some cases. But now what they're saying here is that they're going to be increasing their expenses, but decreasing their profits. Now, why I'm excited about this is exactly what we need to see in order to see real disinflation, real deflation, right? If we can raise our incomes, yet at the same time, not raise the prices, us as consumers are winning huge, huge win. So I'm actually really stoked about this story, right? The only thing that would have been better is if they said, we're even going to decrease our prices so that we can get more people in the door. But you can't win everything, right? Let's continue on here. Starbucks has invested more than 20% of the profits from fiscal year 2023 back into their partner experience through wage increases, training, and new equipment. You don't see this these days. You don't see any company, especially a publicly traded company like Starbucks, actually going out of their way to pour their profits back into their employees. This is a smart company. We've not seen smart companies in the last few years. We've seen price gouging companies. I just this morning saw an email from Netflix that my Netflix subscription is going to go up another $1, right? Now it's $22.69 or something stupid like that. But I remember when I started my Netflix account, it was like $7.99. And now it's 3 times as high. Every company out there is doing everything they can to get even more money out of us during inflation, which is perpetuating the cycle. We saw a story a few weeks ago about the there's some stats out there that are really disheartening, that we're seeing money supply, which is what is actually in your bank accounts, going down while prices are holding flat or even rising. And that's never happened before. The only time that we've seen money supply decreasing like that was during the Great Depression. And as money supply was decreasing, so were prices. That's not what we've seen yet, but this is almost there. This is almost there. It's going to be increasing the money supply for these Starbucks employees and not increasing the prices. So this is really, really advantageous. I'm really excited to hear about this, right? They also increased hourly cash compensation by nearly 50% since 2020. I had no idea. They've increased their hourly compensation by nearly 50% since 2020. So that is some really, really great news for people who work at Starbucks. And honestly, I think that's great news for the people who buy from Starbucks too, because you get a better experience when your employees are happier. So let's take a look at what the AI trading data says about Starbucks. Take a look here. Oh, we got a buy signal. When was this? November 6th, 2 days ago. We got a buy signal 2 days ago in Starbucks. And if you want to get your hands on these AI trading signals, head on over to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now let's go take a look at what the internet says about this, right? Starbucks wage increase by at least 3%. And let's see. This says, not enough. Pay the people. I dislike Starbucks. It's so pretentious. And this person says, I wonder if they can replace baristas with kiosks. You know, I went to a Taco Bell the other day and I had a kiosk and that was a pain. That was a real pain. I don't want to go through every menu and try and figure this out. That's actually where you pay the expertise of the people who are working the counter, right? They may pay them, you know, minimum wage or whatever, but me as the customer, I don't have to go learn Starbucks' entire kiosk menu. Whereas the person behind the counter, they know click, 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 done. That's actually a benefit to me when I look at it, right? So this person says that still leaves workers short as inflation is twice as that. By the way, they're going to use this as an excuse to raise prices 20%. Listen, inflation is still out of control, but this is one step in the right direction, and thankfully, they will not be raising any prices for their coffee. How in the world does the YouTube algorithm work? Because it just tells me that one of these two videos is going to be awesome for you to watch. So thank you for tuning into today's Outlier Live. We'll see you on the next episode.